Love Lorelai and Rory. So when rewatching this scene, I'm so surprised at what I didn't see the first time. Somebody who grew up in a parallel dynamic to Lorelai and Rory, I feel like we have a lot to examine. If you want to maintain your pure experience, I understand, but if you're interested in looking deeper, stick around for a minute. Now the scene is the confrontation between Lorelai and Rory after Lorelai figures out why Rory has suddenly decided she doesn't want to go to Chilton. And what they did so beautifully in this pilot episode is we really established that Lorelai is living in Emily's shadow, but Rory is living in Lorelai's. Her mother has always been really comfortable with men. They've always just kind of shown up for her, and Rory hasn't had that same confidence. So the first time she experiences this, she's so desperate to hold on to this new thing in her world. Of course, that's valid. She's a teenager, and I'm sure we'll talk later about daddy issues down the road. But what strikes me so specifically about this scene is how much Lorelai's inner child wounds come out to play. Anyone who's been in a fight with their mother knows that at some point you just have to take some space. You're not actually going to hear each other. So when Lorelai comes barging in, there's no boundary. We obviously weren't having the conversation about boundaries then. Even Rory calls her out on the fact that she doesn't knock, because for Lorelai, having this kind of dynamic with Rory, having this fight with Rory, is reminiscent of her relationship with her mother, and suddenly this is triggering her. Kind of watch as Lorelai keeps pushing and pushing and getting closer and closer, and she's really putting her emotional needs first. And it's not that she necessarily wants to, because clear-headed Lorelai, when she's not triggered, will recognize that she's making these choices. But in that moment, in this scene, her inner child, her inner wounds, her inner need to make sure that this relationship that she didn't get with her mother, that it is so interwoven, it's so connected, it's so pure, that she makes sure that it's okay. But she doesn't recognize that all of these actions and all of this push, push, push is coming from that place. But at the same time, Rory doesn't know that she's in a codependent relationship with her mother, that she's allowed to have boundaries, that she's allowed to say no, that she's allowed to be respected. She doesn't know how to give herself that, or for Lorelai to hear it. As a daughter, when you start setting those boundaries, you're actually establishing the foundation of unconditional love. Because until then, it's you love me until I do something that you don't like, until I have an opinion or I fight back, or the version of me that's meant to exist kind of comes out. But when you're allowed to set those boundaries and there's still love, it really solidifies what we know is unconditional love, but we don't always get to really test it and feel it and experience it.